Hi there, it's Melanie Foltz Mayers from Eden Mayers HR Consulting. HR Consulting to keep you out of trouble and delivering your passion. So, hi there, I'm here today to talk to you in a bit more detail about the GDPR, as promised. So, let me tell you something weird about me. So, I originally started off studying computer science, and I really enjoyed it because I like this problem solving part of it. I love being able to get to the bottom of a problem. I love the fact that I could find that solution, find someone's problem, work out the solution and present it to them and that they'd be happy. But the thing that I found that I didn't like was coding, not because I couldn't do it, but because it was so pernickety, I guess is the right word. So, you know, if you missed a space, a comma, an exclamation mark, something in your syntax, you would get an error, and you could look at it, and it's like a lot of things. You know, you write a letter, you look at it, it all looks fine, and then you look at it 2 days later and suddenly all of these typos appear. It was exactly the same with coding. I'd kind of look at it and look at it and look at it. I'd want to throw my machine out the window, and then, you know, I'd go to sleep and then I'd wake up and it would be like, bing, I can see what the answer is, I know what to do. And I loved the fact that I knew the answer, but I didn't like that whole not knowing. I didn't like the whole stress of really trying hard to get something to work, not understanding why it would work. And so when I graduated, I looked for roles that required less of the coding and more of the solutioning, which was great and is how I ended up in HR in the end. But it was an interesting thing to trying to get to that solution and work out all the details. Kind of the reason why I wanted to talk to you about that is the thing about data is really about the planning. So, you know, and I love project management, I love a good Gantt chart. So the thing is that when you are looking at your data, before you start getting into the detail of it, the biggest thing to do is to actually just get a big sheet of paper and look at what is all the information that I have, what do I need it for, how do I use it, how do I store it, do I really need this stuff, and to be really clear about that, and to even start with that on a big sheet of paper and work out exactly what you have, what you need for different things, exactly what you need to get, and exactly what you don't need. And then once you've got that big sheet of paper that shows you all of those good things, then you can look at, okay, what do I actually have? So then you know, all right, there are these 10 things that I need, but then there are these 50 things that I have. So actually I could just stop gathering that data, and I can securely destroy that information that I don't need. And that's the better way to start out with it, because I think we are all data hoarders by default. We all keep things in the hope that we're going to use them, that we're going to need them at some point. It's really difficult to let things go. I mean, if you could see my cellar, you'd understand. It's hard to let things go. So what I would suggest that you do from the first instance of preparing for the GDPR is really just with a blank piece of paper think about, what do I actually need to run my business? What do I actually need to manage my staff effectively? How do I need to keep it? How do I need to store it? And how will I use it? And once you've done that, you can then start to review what you actually do have and make sure that it correlates to what you need. And what you might find is there's some things that you realise that you need that you aren't currently capturing, so you need to start capturing additional things, but there'll also be things that you need to get rid of. So I had the pleasure, the joy of working with a couple of clients who were trying to prepare themselves for the GDPR, and a big thing was actually realising that because they were storing data in multiple places, it wasn't being updated everywhere. And also it meant that you didn't really have a single point of truth. You had to look in various places to find information. So they had a HR system, and there was some information in there. They had soft copy files, and they were saved on the system. But then they also had filing cabinets, again, that were there. And then they had boxes of things that hadn't made their way into the filing cabinets. So every time you needed to look for something, you had to look in 4 places. And then if you didn't find it in those 4 places, then you might have to then go back to the individual or their manager to try and find out this information, because again, managers would hoard information. You know, your staff member gives you a sick certificate, and I don't know, you put it in a drawer rather than scanning it and putting it on a file or sending it to HR. So there are all of those kind of things to try and work out what do we keep, what do we have, where is it, how to make sure that it's all in the right place, how to make sure that things that have expired have been deleted and don't remain. And it's a big piece of work, so, and you don't have a lot of time. So it is really imperative that you start with that plan, back to that big piece of paper about what you actually do need. So then once you do start encountering the data and you want to cleanse it, it makes the situation so much easier. So once you've got that list, then it's time for you to go through all of the data that you have. And maybe it's time for you to start thinking about how you store your data. Do you want it all to be soft copy? Do you need everything to be scanned? Or actually, you know, as a small business owner right now, having everything in a filing cabinet that's alphabetized, or, you know, chronological order, or however you need it, is enough for you right now. But there is a question about what you want to do for growth. And in the next one of these videos, I'll be talking about subject access requests and how you deal with those. And actually, I guess the jury's out about whether or not it's easier if you've got people's things on a system or if you've got them in a filing cabinet. But the first thing is to get it organised. So get organised, know what you have, know what you need, and make what you have match what you need. And that will put you in a much better situation. So I'm going to leave you to get on with that work because I know it's going to take you some time, and I'll come back and talk to you again really soon about what you need to do next. Bye.